Hi everybody, Mitch Peacock, the play-by-play voice of the Manitoba Moose on moosehockey.com and TSN 1290 alongside color commentator Jim Toth, getting you set for tonight's game, the opener of a two-game weekend set between the Moose and the Charlotte Checkers. The Moose getting into the action tonight, fresh from a 5-game road trip that saw them drop a couple of one-goal games against the Iowa Wild, but pick up important wins against the Rockford Ice Hogs and one against the very good Milwaukee Admirals team.
And it was led by the usual suspects on the road trip, Mitch. Matt Halischuk had 6 points prior to being called up by the Winnipeg Jets. Cormier and Albert had 4 points each, and goaltending continues to be the strong suit of this team. Connor Hellebuck played very well, and Eric Comrie only got 1 game in Rockford, but he was outstanding.
All in all, the players pleased with their work on the trip.
I guess you just, you got to outwork those teams, and, they're not going to take you lightly, so you got to kind of rise to their game level, and we've shown that we can play at that level, and got fortunate with 3 wins.
I think consistency is probably the best word. We came out strong every game there, at least for those 4 straight that we had. And when you win 4 straight like that, you think you can go in and win every game. Obviously, that's the kind of mindset you got to have.
Prior to heading out on the road, the Moose were downtown at MTS Center for a half-dozen straight. They picked up a couple of wins and only lost 2 of the games in regulation time.
And the team got a lot of confidence from that homestand, Mitch. They beat the Toronto Marlies, the best team in the American Hockey League, and then right before hitting the road, they got a big win over the Chicago Wolves.
And now they're up against a Charlotte Checkers team that's pushing to make it to the postseason. The Moose have played them 4 times and only picked up 1 win, but it was a meaningful one.
It was in Charlotte. They spoiled their home opener, and they were led by Connor Hellebuck, who had a shutout in that game.
Connor exceptional on that night. Looking forward to more good goaltending from the Moose as they continue their stretch here against the Charlotte Checkers, and the players are excited about the test ahead.
We got to get on their D. I think anytime any team below their own dots, they have trouble with. Ourselves included, it's a hard place to play. You got to play hard. So if we can, focus on getting the pucks deep and staying away from turnovers to the blue lines, I think we'll be all right.
I see a hungry team. I see a team that obviously hasn't had a lot of success lately, but a team that's right on that playoff line. So we know they're going to be hungry. We know they want to stay in that mix and keep themselves in the playoffs here. So we got to make sure we build off our road trip and be aware of the things that they're going to be trying to do tonight.
Here's a look at the updated Central Division standings. You can see the Moose looking to try and make a climb from the 8th position. Meanwhile, the Charlotte Checkers pushing for a place in the postseason. Now, a big trade for the Winnipeg Jets and Chicago Blackhawks a couple of nights ago, with the captain Andrew Ladd going to Chicago. In exchange, the Jets organization gets Marco Dano, a first-round pick, and a conditional pick. It also saw a couple of Moose players moving on in that deal.
Yeah, a bit of a big hole here for the Manitoba Moose off the ice. Jay Harrison, an experienced veteran, was really good with the younger players and knew what it took each and every day, shift in, shift out, on the ice and off the ice. He gets a chance to go to a winning organization and a chance to win. And Matt Fraser, who's brought in to score goals, he struggled. His game was coming around at the end of it, but he was a good veteran presence as well. 2 key members of the team, both on the ice and off, that are now gone.
And of course, the guys remaining wishing those 2 the very best as they move on to the Chicago organization. Meanwhile, the Moose get set for a challenge here tonight. It's the Charlotte Checkers in Game 1 of a brief 2-game homestand. Enjoy the night.